There's a girl I really wanted in my world, and this friend, he should have been there till the end, but they both did me so low, so low. Cause this girl didn't wanna be my world, and this friend was just plain pretend when they both said for me there's just no hope. You are kind of a huge freaking loser. Well, I hope you stage dive and your face catches you. I hope he's on a hot tub where she ends up a dude. An accident or two, and everyone goes. I hope every public toilet water splashes on you. I hope you leave with toilet paper stuck on your shoe. You see, there's something about me that you should know. For me, there's plenty of hope.
Hello and welcome to Happy Hour, the funniest radio show on the air that touches topics like ones that you've never thought of, and also topics that you probably are tired of, like gun control, immigration, and celebrities. We even teach you how to be happy via our segment called the Motivational Minute, and we play games and challenges. And anyhow, my name is Zenith Nevers. I am your host, and I would like to introduce, first off, our co-host, another comedian named Paul Jensen. What's up, Paul?
How you doing, Zenith?
How you doing, brother?
I'm hyped.
And yeah, I can tell. And a little bit different. I've never seen it on the radio, but we actually have our significant others in the show, I think, to keep us in line. So we don't do anything stupid. Because it's going to be
too late.
Yeah, we're already off to a good start. We're going to touch a bunch of topics. We've got a jam show packed today. We're going to touch topics like Valentine's Day, some of the late-breaking or to-be-breaking movies that are coming out this weekend. We'll also be talking about Valentine's Day, what our plans are.
Do you have any intentions of introducing the significant others, or we're just going to be known as the background significant others?
So we're already in trouble.
Do we have names?
They do.
Do we get to pick our names?
I want to be Sparkle.
Oh, she's got a good one.
So our co-hosts are well, we got Sarah. Sarah's Paul. Coco.
Hi.
Coco Chanel.
Coco.
Sarah, what's up? Say hi.
Hi.
Sarah is Paul's boss, and my boss to the right of me, if you're watching on live, is Gina. Hi, say hi, Gina.
Hi.
So yes, we are going to, in addition to introducing you lovely ladies, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day plans, Black History Month, movies that are airing. We'll talk about whether it's appropriate to date or flirt in the workplace, and we're even going to play our first game. This is our first segment. We're going to be playing the Tide Pod Challenge today. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm glad you're looking forward to it.
Well, one of us lucky four will be eating a Tide Pod. So what is there not to look forward to? Well, I mean, unless I'm the person. That's all.
Tide Pod Challenge for me is just finishing the laundry in a reasonable amount of time.
Is it a challenge?
Yeah.
We have 4 kids.
8 people under one roof.
Right.
It's a lot of
That's a lot of skid marks.
Yeah, a lot.
And I don't think most of them are from the kids.
Can I plead the fifth?
So let's start with Paul. Paul's I'm a motivational speaker and a comedian.
No, you said start with me.
And Paul is also a comedian. Paul, say a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a comedian.
You took his thunder.
I perform in front of people and tell jokes for money, and sometimes beer.
And not near enough of either.
Well, enough beer. I'm not a big beer drinker. Would like more money, though.
Wouldn't we all? Sarah, introduce yourself. Give me a little small intro.
Oh, I don't have anything exciting to say except that I have 4 children and I play cabbie to driving them all over.
And she's sitting here crocheting while we do the radio show.
Yeah, I'm part old lady and part rebellious teenager. There's no in between for me.
Right, so you're just one extreme or the other. You're bald or you're wearing 2 wigs at the same time.
I'm the bald one.
Yeah.
Well, we
I'm
can
confused
already,
now.
yeah.
I mean, the radio can't see, but we can see the glare coming off your forehead. So thanks for pointing that out.
Be nice.
I'm being nice. He brought attention to it. All right, Gigi, you want to say anything?
No, not really.
Come on, say a little bit about yourself.
I'm a massage therapist and esthetician.
Yes.
An esthetician is someone that does facials.
When are we gonna set up an appointment? That's what I want to know.
That's everyone's go-to.
Oh, we could do really deep chemical peels on air one time. That would be fun.
I am so down with that. Oh.
Yes.
Sizzle.
And Zenith could use a Brazilian.
Oh, yes.
We've actually already shot the butt hair removal video, which should be airing next Wednesday
So
for the YouTube channel.
next segment.
What's our next topic?
I have a YouTube channel. Well, every time we get 1,000 subscribers, we allow the subscribers to vote on what they would like for me to do.
And that was their vote?
Their vote was for me to get butt hair wax
They
removed.
love you.
I think they don't, but they like to see me suffer. All right, so why don't we talk about first things first? It's going to be Valentine's Day weekend. Do you guys got any Valentine's Day plans?
No.
Nice.
Us
Wait.
either.
We've been married for
Wait.
24 years now. So,
Not quite.
well, just about. Coming up on 24 years. So Valentine's Day means diddly squat in our house. That's how it works.
Nice.
Sarah's
Nice.
face doesn't say the same.
Yeah, I know. Well,
After 23 years, I'm used to it.
right. So
I'm romantic every other day.
so it's been 22 years of couch.
Of couch what?
Yeah. More like kitchen table,
Not
you
not.
kids' bedrooms. While they're what are we talking about? What?
We're talking about family friendly show.
Wait, you
where
can't
we're
talk
gonna-
about Valentine's Day plan before Valentine's Day with your significant other. That
In the
makes
room,
no
yes.
sense.
Well, I mean, you might have
What if
plans.
it's
I have the
Surprise. You
hugest
guys have been married
surprise
23 years.
ever.
You've been married 23 years and you still have surprises? Is that what you're saying?
No, we have no surprises.
We don't like surprises.
Wait, surprise for me is if he goes all day without farting in front of me.
That we'll talk about
Or
that a little later.
belching or
So that would be a surprise, a 24-hour span without any gas.
yeah,
Well, it gets older.
it's pretty romantic, actually.
The
I
gas
love you.
goes both ways, by the way.
It goes
Anyways.
in and out.
You can take that how you wish.
Speaking of the previous topic, other than gas, did anybody watch the new film 50 Shades of Grey?
No,
That just
Nope.
came out on the 9th. Are we not fans?
I'm not really a big fan of it.
Yeah.
I did though. I bet I didn't write it down, did I?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Because I looked up like little tidbits about it, and I remember now. They said that they compared the trilogy of movies to the Hobbit trilogies, where the first one made enough money that the other two are basically already paid for. So it kind of makes you wonder like how hard they'll really try. For the sequels was kind of my first question. If it's already paid for, it's already in the bank, and they don't have to worry about cashing in real big on it.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I didn't read the books. It was not my cup of tea. About every one of my girlfriends read the books, but it wasn't really my genre.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
I hope in a few years they go back and make a prequel trilogy. That might be interesting.
50 Shades of.
Back when there was
I don't
only
have
two
gray hair
shades
yet.
of gray.
50 Shades of Crayola.
Well, I'm one thing that I would say that's a big difference between the Hobbits and the what do we call it? The
50.
Grey series, that trilogy.
I don't think there was a lot of Hobbit sex.
No, there wasn't a lot of
I
Harry.
didn't see those either, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stab in the dark. But also, this I would assume that this movie doesn't need a lot of CGI, so it probably doesn't have a huge amount of cost involved.
Oh, that's true.
And
I
the 3
didn't
books
think
were
that.
already popular, so
Were there
among
3
women.
books initially?
yes, there were.
Oh, there were.
So-
See,
so
I didn't. That's how much I know about it.
Don't let it happen again.
Oh, sorry. I
Uh,
tried to research it.
So, yeah, I actually saw the first one. I don't remember how that came about, but then for the second one, I was single, and then the third one, Gina was like, nah, we're not going to go watch that. So, it was unanimous. In addition to Valentine's Day on February is, yes, the 14th. No, she's reminding me, 14th, hint, hint. February is also Black History Month.
Yes.
And we have, I don't know if it's kind of tied in, but it was definitely strategically done. On the 16th comes out the new Black Panther movie. Are you guys looking forward to that?
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I like a good movie.
It's getting good reviews, so
Yeah.
I'm a little burnt out on the whole superhero genre right now. So it takes something extra special to get me to drag all the kids and pay $250 for movie tickets and popcorn, but
And let them know they're not going to college.
right. But
Oh yeah, they already know that.
That was your college money.
everything I'm hearing is that this is an excellent movie and it should be kid friendly. So yeah, we'll probably check that one out.
Yeah? Gigi?
I love going to the movies.
She's lost in thought.
To see Black Panther? I
Yeah.
don't know.
All right.
I don't really go anywhere or
So-
do anything. You don't. You keep me in the house, locked in the house, slaving away.
That's why she doesn't need to see
Reenacting
50
50
Shades.
Shades.
No,
I'm
honestly,
actually.
my thought about 50 Shades was, just the thought of it all kind of makes me uncomfortable. So, sitting in a room with a bunch of strangers in the dark, watching that movie, I was like,
Would be uncomfortable.
I'm okay, Netflix and chill.
I actually read, when I was looking it up, I actually read that it was banned in Malaysia because it was considered
The
pornography.
50 or Black? Okay. We're not talking about Black Panther.
No, not Black Panther. We're back to 50 Shades again. That was banned in Malaysia because it was considered pornography and that the sexual acts depicted were considered unnatural sexual acts.
Mm,
So it's actually banned over there. I thought that was kind of interesting anyways.
what country was this?
Malaysia?
Malaysia. Okay. Isn't that where they have a huge market for transsexuals?
I
I'm just
have
saying.
no idea.
I'm just saying.
That's-
Isn't that the first lady?
Like, maybe. I think we're confusing Malaysia with Melania.
Oh yeah.
But all right, moving on.
So
Just to be clear, we're not
confused.
calling Melania a transsexual.
Yeah, okay.
Are
No,
we?
no.
Didn't
I don't know,
RuPaul
now
just
I'm
give her
really
a shout out at
confused.
some point.
Yeah. We're gonna move on. Black History Month, Black Panther. I am actually really looking forward to the film. I'm a bit of a fan. I'm a fan of all of the Marvel superhero movies, unlike Paul. In any case, we are going to go ahead and wrap up this segment. When we get back, we're going to talk about dating in the workplace. Is it appropriate or not? Stay tuned.
There's something about me that you should know. For me, there's plenty of hope. See, I've got plenty of hope. Second verse.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour. I am your host. My name is Zenith Nevers, and we've got my co-host Paul Jensen and
How you
his
doing?
lovely better half, Sarah. Paul and Sarah, say hi.
Hi, again.
Yes.
And of course, I've got my better half, Gina, in the studio as well. What's up, everybody? When we went on break, we were talking about movies that are debuting. We did a small intro of ourselves, and we also mentioned our next topic. We're going to talk about whether or not it is appropriate to flirt/date in the workplace. Anybody want to chime in on that?
Well, we're sitting here with our wives/girlfriends,
Working.
so it's going to be a little bit of a lopsided conversation, I think.
Come on, let's say more along the lines of like, what if their coworker is a stranger? If you're not yet dating or together.
But how else do you get to know somebody?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
I feel like there's a few situations where flirting in the workplace is bad. Like, for instance, you're a massage therapist, or if you were waxing somebody's privates. I feel like that's a bad time to flirt.
Yeah.
But
So
I
what do you do
feel
later?
like,
Oh!
yeah. Right.
No, I did actually get hit on yesterday.
Well,
It was a little awkward.
I was
'cause it
looking like
opened with-
reverse, like you flirting as the
Oh.
not because
Yeah,
that
no.
happens because I did hair for years and years,
Mhm.
and I did facials and all that too, and it's just like a natural tendency I think for them to flirt with us.
Yes.
But I was thinking of like the reverse
Oh.
situation.
But still, that's flirting with your clientele, not your other workmates.
Yeah.
I think this is more what we're
yeah,
talking
well,
about,
that's
right?
what I was saying.
We can
Like,
talk
what,
about both.
what
Right,
type of
flirt with your
work
clients if you get a
situation?
bigger tip. Hey, that's fine.
Right, I'm down
Yeah,
for
Zenith
flirting.
flirts all the time.
I
Or
know.
just a tip.
This is why Zenith and I get along so
Wait.
well.
Well, I mean, there is a slight difference, but I would like to talk about more. I mean, we're in a world, we're in a nation that's currently a lot of people in hot water
Yeah.
for stepping over the line. So let's talk
Well,
about
that's
what
what I
is that
think.
line.
What is the line exactly? Like
Yeah.
when somebody says flirting to me, I think just being extra nice. That extended eye contact, smiling, maybe a gentle touch on the arm or something like that. Not the sneak up behind the girl who's bent over and give her a nice grope. That to me is not flirting.
Right.
Absolutely not.
I would also add, though, that may be for some people, and I think that you want to kind of have everybody's line in mind. And if the line isn't known, it needs to be at some point in time expressed, like, hey, whoa, this is my boundary,
Back up.
and then the other person needs to respect.
I kind of feel like any kind of physical contact should naturally be a bit of a boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you have to be able to read somebody to know if you can put your hand on their arm or, move on from something like that.
right. But I also feel like we have to learn how to respect all.
What are you saying? Are you
Cultures.
defending somebody that would just like grab your butt?
No.
I feel like
He's
that's
never
what
grabbed my
you're doing the
coworker.
like
Not often,
devil's
man.
advocate.
Men don't have that issue as much, and we certainly don't have the issue.
Well,
where
us
we're like,
good-looking ones do. Speak for yourself.
Yes, Zenith.
So me and Paul never had that issue, and
Wait, you did? I remember you telling me some lady grabbed you.
did
I've
somebody
had a
touch
few
you? Should
gropes,
I bring a teddy bear and ask you where the
It was on the butt.
where,
All right, that's
on the
On the tuchus.
Yeah.
On the buttocks.
on the on
So
the
here's the thing.
the
Sarah will
Charmin
tell you about
commercials.
me. I am not a flirt at all. I am miserable at it. I don't even attempt to try it. And I'm also terrible at picking up signals from other women.
So
I've
you're
never.
This is
rock.
true.
I don't go there. I'm very old fashioned. If a woman bends over in front of me and her blouse opens up, I'm the type of guy that looks away. And-
Wait.
What? Well, unless it's you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's how I caught you.
Right. Well, yours,
Okay, wait. Rewind.
you can avoid
23
yours.
years.
So.
Yeah, when we were dating, I leaned over in the car, and he told me about it later. He's like, you leaned over in the car, and I could see down your shirt.
Yeah. It's a little
Hey,
bump.
child.
I saw your boobies and I like
Yeah,
this.
exactly. So then I made sure every time, speaking of flirting, then I made sure every time we went out, I wore a loose, lower shirt.
So naturally, you were attracted to his maturity.
Yeah, naturally.
While I still had it.
Yeah.
So did you guys meet at work?
No, we met long distance. We
In a
met through a
drive-thru.
mutual friend that I had been best friends with, and then her family moved. So when she graduated high school, I went out to Missouri for her graduation, and he was at her graduation party.
He was
I
a
was a
she
she
back
then, yeah. It was a different time.
This
And
was a,
so, like, as soon as I saw him, I was like,
Oh, she was all over. it.
target
It was-
acquired.
You know how a few minutes ago I said I normally don't pick up on the flirtation? She was laying it on
was-
heavy.
it was obvious.
yeah.
Listen, I knew I'm a girl who knows what she wants and went after it, and so I did. And I
And I
knew
took my shirt off,
You
and that was
me.
it.
he did
Back
take
to
his
my
shirt
place.
off. So I mean, that was an unfair advantage right there.
yes, if you're into bears.
Well, he wasn't quite as woolly then. But we actually had a long distance relationship. We wrote letters back and forth.
Wow.
When we got married, we had known each other for almost a year and a half, but we had only physically been together. Like, I'm not talking about sex. I just mean like in person.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, like 6 weeks? Because it was like a week I would go there, and then he'd come up to Colorado for a week, and then a week and a week, and then we got married. So after a week, after our honeymoon and we'd been together a week, it was kind of like, which one of us is leaving now? Like, we actually had to get used to seeing each other like day in and day out like that.
Oh wow.
That's exciting.
And of course, just to clarify, we mean handwritten letters, not text messages.
Right.
Correct. This was before internet and
No
we're old
Facebook
school.
posts.
Right.
I knew I had to wait 3 days. We made this agreement that as soon as one person would get the letter, they would immediately write back that day or the next day. And so I knew it took 3 to 4 days each time for a correspondence to go back
Yeah.
and
And our
forth.
phone calls were on landlines.
Yeah,
so
only
we-
on the weekends after 9 p.m.
Right.
Limited to 1 hour.
And I had a stupid rotary phone, so it took like 20 minutes just to dial the number in. So,
You must have really
good
liked it.
time. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah.
He didn't remember me the first time I called him. Yeah, I called him like, I just want to let you know I made it home.
Sarah?
It's a 16-hour drive. Hey, I just want to let you know I made it home. I'm like, this is Sarah. And he's like,
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah.
What she's not telling you is I knew like 4 or 5 different Sarahs at the time. So
Yeah, which I later found
That's a
out
good
is the
excuse.
absolute truth, but I didn't know then.
Now, in the cell phone era, you could have just took a picture of your shirt open and be like, "Oh, yes,
Yeah, now I
Sarah,
remember you."
it's coming
well,
back."
that's
to
how
me."
it's done today, apparently. So
Yes.
For
Okay.
our younger listening crowd,
We are so
a
off
letter is what we used to actually write out, handwritten.
Pen and paper, fold it in an
Pen and paper.
envelope.
Yes,
Okay.
we were actually romantic like that.
since you brought
You
it
were
up,
too?
Yes, I was actually.
Okay,
We'll
what?
talk about her and I in a moment.
well, I just want to bring something because you brought up about sending a picture in that. All right.
Yes.
Now I'm old school. Sarah and I are old school when it came to our relationship and dating and that. But apparently nowadays, more and more people are considering it acceptable to send an inappropriate picture to somebody that they just met or that. And to me, that is a
Is it
major
always
case of
inappropriate?
sexual. Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm asking. Is
Yeah.
because I'm hearing from more and more women. I see them post about it and stuff that it's becoming so the norm that it's almost like they don't care. And I think that's wrong personally. I
Well-
think that's over the line. As a guy, I would never dream of doing that to a woman. I think that's, well, to Sarah,
have-
but we're married.
Is it I think the bottom line is it unsolicited or not? Like, is it, like,
Here-
are you sending a message like, hey, my name is such and such, and here's a picture attached? Or is it like, you've been talking
What's
back and
up,
forth,
picture?
and yeah, you're
I
getting
think
kind
more
of
how about
than
no
what
what's
that
up?
is
Just get straight to
flirting.
it.
I view it as sexual harassment.
Absolutely. Well, but now I'm not defending people that send pictures, but we do have to remember that it is a different time frame, and technology has allowed us to not think things through. Because back in our day, if you wanted to do that, and people did, I'm sure, just
You had to
not
wait
as
for the
much.
Polaroid.
You have to Polaroid. You have to run down to Walgreens and have somebody look at what you're printing, and then be like, "No, we're not printing that."
yeah,
'cause they
it's
did that.
more private nowadays.
It's a lot more private. There's no inhibitions. There's nothing saying don't do this at 3 a.m.
But do you
You're-
think that's why
you're-
people have gotten more inappropriate in regular? I want to say real world situations, but like in person-to-person contact, because they can do all this stuff from behind their screen and that they've become more bold in their day-to-day
Absolutely.
life. Like,
Absolutely.
it's no big deal for me to open my pants and send a picture to you. So if you bend over in front of me, it's not gonna be a big deal if I slap
Absolutely.
your butt.
I was actually reading the comments on YouTube on Martin Luther King's "I Had a Dream," and people were
Oh,
hating
I want
on
to see
it.
how this fits in.
No, the number one complaint was, "Oh, this is bad audio quality." Oh, wow, well, I'm sorry. Did they not have the audio you preferred back when Martin Luther King was? I mean, people just are a lot braver now to do things behind screens.
Keyboard warriors.
And as far as inappropriateness, I do want to say one thing. I don't know that it's so much old-fashioned. I just want to say that it's good upbringing and being a gentleman.
Yeah, I
right?
think so too.
Yeah.
Like the days of being a gentleman or even being a lady are so gone.
Now, with that
Not
being
gone,
said,
but-
I do think that there is a time and place, especially in a monogamous relationship, to have flirty pictures.
I think so
per se.
too.
If both parties are in agreement to that and want to have fun, fine, no problem. But we're talking about at the workplace,
Right.
right? You have a coworker that is laying it on pretty thick with the flirtation and things of that sort, and then he goes to that.
That he crosses that line.
Right, crosses
Yeah.
that line. Like, to me, that's crossing the line. My problem is it seemingly more and more people view that as acceptable.
But
I
see,
don't-
but that's the case with so much across the board. Like, it isn't just the pictures. Just there are so many things that we have come to accept as norm that we should have never accepted as norm. That should have never been cast to the side as no big deal. Boys will be boys, or whatever the situation is. There's always responsibility for your actions, good or bad.
Absolutely. I will say this, just as devil's advocate, is that change is inevitable. As a matter of fact, the only thing that will never change is the fact that everything changes. And if you, for example, look at, I was watching a Bruce Lee film the other day, which was rated R, and I have no idea why it was rated R, because as time has gone on, more and more
Is accepted.
is accepted as, okay, this is not that bad. Kids can see this.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So that's, I don't think is ever going to change. More and more it's acceptable to, I think, for example, the inappropriate pics will be a little more accepted. Or,
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. While there are people that cross the line, unfortunately for all of us, it'll get to a threshold where we'll go in the complete direction, opposite direction. I went to, if you guys know, I run a children's charity, and for the charity, I work 2 days a week serving tables. I won't mention the place. I'm just, if you're a fan, you'll know. I went into the workplace, and there was a letter posted up saying that employees are no longer allowed to hug. And I'm like, it's just one step away from being Demolition Man. You guys remember the film?
We just watched that movie the other day, and they're not allowed to have any physical contact whatsoever. I remember dealing with that at the school with the kids. The teachers got to where they couldn't, like little kids, your preschoolers and things like that. Teachers couldn't hug the kids, and if they did, they had to turn sideways. So it was not a frontal hug. It was like a side under the arm kind of thing. And yet, when you look at health benefits, even psychology benefits of physical contact, of
Massage
building
is good
trust.
for depression.
Exactly.
Anxiety.
They say you can build trust faster with somebody through physical contact than you can through just speaking and talking with somebody. And so what are we losing by doing that? By not realizing that there's a line to be drawn by what's acceptable and not acceptable, as opposed to going so far that none is acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think there's two things, personally, I feel it can be the cause of this. First off, there's so much stigma surrounded around the topic of sex and sexuality. For one, I think we need a better metaphor. The common one is sports. The most common out of those is baseball. You hear the terms like, I went to first base, or if there's grass on the field, play ball, or and I don't know. Sports just kind of has like that competitiveness and that.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, well, that one's kind of pedophilish to me.
That was when he was a teacher, hugging kids from the side.
Oh, I get
Can
it.
we use a different metaphor, like maybe like
Gross.
pizza? You know, it's something you share together.
See?
Something you experience
Look,
together.
And
he
it's
took
so
a weird
hot
thing,
and
but he made
cheesy.
it sweet.
You know, I mean, the sounds that I make when I eat pizza are similar.
There you go.
No, that reminds me, when I was looking up stuff on the way here, I came across this little poem, and it was roses are red, violets are blue, pizza is hot, and so are you. So this is like our
That's so
pizza
cute.
episode, right?
Boom.
Yay, pizza!
Who doesn't like pizza? So I don't know.
He doesn't like pizza.
Does it really?
What?
Aren't you
No, like the real pizza. Like, not as a metaphor, but like actual pizza. That you...
Aren't you like half Italian?
No.
No.
No?
he's-
Okay.
Half Danish, half French.
Oh.
Did he seem offended by that?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little.
It's fine.
Whoa.
At least I'm not like Latino like you. I mean, come on.
That could be worse. So you know somebody on listening in and being like, "Hey, what's the matter with this guy? Huh? What's
Cannolis
That
are
reminds
fine. I love
That
a good
was-
Yeah,
cannoli.
right?
That was Paul Jensen, by the way. I'll give out his email address, social security, and address later.
Ezra does that. He says, I'll show you how to speak Italian. He does the whole hand thing. And he goes, this is how
You
you
got to do
speak
that.
Italian.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
In short, that is why I feel people that work together should not date.
Zenith and I actually met at work.
Yes, we did.
We did, and it was adorable. He was sweet.
Yes.
Was it adorable or adorkable?
It was.
Oh, it was adorkable.
it
Yes,
was-
for sure. He passed me a note under my cash register,
Yeah. Be like, hey.
and it said "right back."
Did it have check yes or no?
Yes. It was, I went.
And then
I
you
went,
know where it evolved to, kids? He started hiding food.
I found out she had a soft spot for the yeast rolls.
And I got yeast rolls every day.
I gave her yeast.
Zenith.
So we passed notes. We would be like,
We did,
hey,
we did
what
pass
are you
notes.
doing? Right back. How are you doing today?
Oh, that's so
Little
fun
smiley
and
faces.
cute.
It was adorable.
Yeah, it was adorable.
There was no physical contact.
None.
And she enjoyed it, so I think it's
I
acceptable.
did.
She
And I
made it
didn't-
clear that it was, what you were doing was fine.
And I
therefore
didn't
not
send
a
her
problem.
pictures.
No.
Mostly because I don't
Yeah,
draw
like
that
if you
well.
sent her a note and she crinkled it up and ripped it up and threw it in the trash, and you kept sending notes repeatedly, then that would be note harassment. But you did
I
not.
might get a paper cut.
Right. She responded in kind so that you could continue responding. So, see, that's all where the signals come in.
And I
Yeah.
would say that is part of the issue is that their boundaries aren't drawn.
Mm.
You see it, for example, in the Louis C.K. issue. I feel like there could have been more like, whoa, no, not cool. I'm out.
It's
And
so
then
hard to
also
say with
boundaries
things
not
like that.
respected.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
'cause
you're
you
not
weren't
there.
No, we weren't. None of us were. We're just speculating. But I just feel like sometimes a lot of the issues is the lack of communication between both.
I think so too, and I think that the perspective from a man, the feelings from a
perspective of-
man's perspective
Mhm.
and a woman's perspective, because women have grown up with a different set of rules.
Yeah,
I don't know if
boys
rules
will
is
be
the right thing or
boys
cautious. Exactly, we're
and
the ones that
we
have
have
to
to
be careful
work
because you
harder
guys are dangerous.
because it's still not equals. It's still a battle of the sexes. Women,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
always
we
gonna
have to
be, but
work
I don't think it
harder.
should be a battle.
Well,
It shouldn't be.
that's part of the I think that is the other part of the issue is that there seems to be two standards for the
Yeah,
sexes. So
there
for
absolutely
example,
is.
one standard is it's perfectly fine, for example, for a man to be predominant in the dating field, right? And then it's that is not the same standard for ladies. And when you engage in any type of flirtatious relationship, there's always that stigma where the lady says, I need to act this way, even if she's interested.
Mhm.
And as men know that some of this is acting. So I think that is also part of the issue. Where the
Well,
man
part of
says,
like
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, where the woman is said, I
feels
need to,
pressure to be ladylike.
to be ladylike. So let's say, hypothetically.
Right, because if something does happen, guess what? It's not your fault for being the jerk.
No,
it's
it's
her
our
fault.
fault.
So that's exactly why women have to be that way. So we have to go beyond, oh, women are standoffish because they've been told to be ladylike. No, we have to go back to women have been accused of being the problem when they've been victimized so much that that has become a natural human trait for a woman to have. So how do we go back from that? It's not the women that have to be corrected, it's you boys.
Yes. Like to the point where these college kids came up with this nail polish that
Yes,
if you dip it in your drink,
it'll
it
tell you
changes
if you
color. Well, when they went to get their patent, it got shut down because it puts too much responsibility on the woman. Because it's your fault that you didn't buy this nail polish that's commonly
Well,
available.
see,
at
like I
Walgreens.
can follow that thinking, but at the same time, I think it would be a good thing to have out there.
Well, I what I'm trying to say though is that I feel like it's not men or women. I think that we as a whole need to come together and say, this is the changes that both parties, both sexes
Right,
need
but
to make.
you have to realize that until a woman doesn't feel intimidated or in danger by showing maybe what she wants or what she doesn't want, that those behaviors can't
I mean,
change.
we're getting there.
I think so.
Oh, light years.
Yeah, for sure.
From
I mean,
where
it's the rise of the strong, independent woman.
Right. The Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which here's the other thing too. The Me Too also starts to have a slippery slope effect where people are saying, "Oh, well, he touched my shoulder once,"
Yeah,
you know,
I think it can
and
go
that's
too
that.
far.
Come on, man.
Mhm.
Again, the bald or the wearing two wigs at the same time. We don't need either
That's like
extreme.
saying you root for a certain football team just because they're winning. Jump
Abs-
off the bandwagon.
Well, it is like that, but so we don't want to subscribe, or I don't want to subscribe to where I support all men because they're a man. That's not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But I don't want to also. Yeah, I believe that usually the truth is somewhere in the gray.
I do too, and I believe that circumstances and personality and how you're raised and things like that all play a part in how something has gone down one way or the other. And the only way to really combat any of that is to be totally straightforward and honest. You know, so you have a woman that's got to let those walls down if she is interested and be comfortable enough to say she is interested, and you got to have the guys that back off and say, well, I don't feel like you're interested. Like, where's the open dialogue?
Yeah. Well, I think as men too, we're kind of like taught to not take the first no. Does that make sense? Like, oh,
I don't know. I'm not a man.
Paul, chime in. What do you think?
Sarah likes me to spank her from time to time.
I don't know.
What are we talking about again?
I think Paul's zoned out.
Right.
Thanks for the joke, Paul. Found it.
Fist pound. Well,
And
how
she's
about
not
this?
denying it. You see, she's
No,
sitting right here saying, well,
and-
it's true.
At no point in time did she say anything. Well, how about this? Why don't we have Sarah? How about a story where somebody crossed the line? Maybe one that's funny, in the workplace. Or,
How's that funny?
It's
well,
not
I
funny.
mean, some of them can
I
be
got a
funny.
funny one.
Are you thinking
Yeah,
about the
you
one
go.
I'm thinking about?
What's the one you're thinking about?
I'm thinking about the gentleman that said if you were younger.
Oh my God, yes, that just happened to me yesterday.
If you were younger?
Yes,
Yeah.
no, I'm not even kidding you. He's like, if you were younger, I would ask you out on a date.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
no,
what
no.
happened to if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all?
Yeah, right?
Apparently,
that's
that's not
what
the
we're-
norm.
Oh, my other favorite one, I think, was somebody that, it was a fellow employee. He had just gotten hired, and he booked a massage with me, and the whole way leading up to it, he was like, you can't hurt me.
Yeah.
It's way too long of a story.
Well, we could talk about it
later.
We could talk about it later. When we get back, we are going to be playing the Tide Pod Challenge. Once again, this is the happy hour, and make sure you stay tuned.
Was this one time he sang Power Love by Celine Dion in the shower? He also cried for the notebook when Ali asked Noah, why didn't you write me? He says, I wrote you 365 letters. I wrote you every day for a year. I hope you use Nair instead of shampoo.
Welcome back to the happy hour. I am your host, Zenith Nevers. I've got co-host Paul Jensen. What's up, Paul?
Having fun.
And his lovely wife, Sarah. What's up, Sarah?
Hi.
And she's short and quick to the point. And Gina. Gina, what's up?
Hi.
When we went on break, we talked about whether or not it is appropriate to date and / flirt in the workplace. Before that, we talked about what's going on in our lives and what's going on as far as the big box office, and we introduced ourselves. I am a motivational speaker and comedian. Paul is a comedian, and we've got our significant others to keep us in line. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. How excited were we about that? Were you guys fans of any
I
of
don't
it?
watch professional sports at all.
He doesn't like sports, but I do, and
Everybody
I gave him up
thinks I
for
should.
a long time, and now we finally got to where I can watch it. So this is the first year I've got to watch Super Bowl at my own house, on my TV, in my pajamas, and it was awesome.
Gina and I went to a Super Bowl party.
Yes.
They held nothing back. They had a
No,
full
there was a
bar,
bounce house.
for the
DJ.
kids. Yeah, yeah.
Right on.
DJ, the whole, and we got to leave at the third quarter, so we didn't have to do any cleanup.
Food truck talk.
That's the smart way to do it. Leave
And then
early.
we watched the fourth quarter at home. What was your favorite commercials?
I liked the Doritos and the Mountain Dew one with I don't know
Doritos
the
never
guy's
let
name,
down.
but Morgan Freeman
Uh-huh.
when he comes out and he's doing the red. Like I thought that was awesome. But my all-time favorite was the Tide commercial.
They were
Like you'd think it was just a regular commercial starting, and the guy would pop up and be like, "Nope, this is a Tide commercial." The Old Spice one is what killed me.
Old Spice never.
Because those are like the
disappoints.
most bizarre commercials anyway. So it starts out and you're like, oh, this is going to be an Old Spice commercial. And then, boom, there's the guy. Nope, this is a Tide commercial. Nice pants. It's like the best.
Yeah. I for many years, I wasn't able to watch the Super Bowl, but I made sure that I always watched the commercials.
Yeah,
the
I think a
highlights
lot
on
of people
on
do
YouTube.
that.
Yeah. The commercials are always insane. And of course, they always debut movies that are coming out. We've got debuted was the new movie by The Rock.
The skyscraper.
Yeah.
I saw that the next day. Yeah, there is a great premise for a movie. Hey, I got one leg. I'm gonna jump on a building. Oh, that's all show. Can't wait to see that one.
No, but the Han Solo one was
Yes.
one of the newer trailers, too.
Yes, and now I'm really looking forward to that. So we mentioned what's going on right now in the nation as far as Tide goes, the Tide Pods. People are playing a game called the Tide Pod Challenge.
And let me just say, this is why the rest of the world hates us.
Because we eat laundry
Right.
detergent.
There's people around the world that don't get enough food to eat, okay? And we're eating detergent for fun and likes.
How about the
on
Get
social
A's
media,
in School
so.
challenge?
The what?
Clean your room challenge.
Can you tell she's a mom?
Yeah. Do the
your
dishes
own
challenge.
Stinking laundry.
Challenge. You have to put challenge on the end of it.
That right. That's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
Challenge.
There you
I
go.
challenge you to wash these dishes as good as I do.
Would you get likes on YouTube? Because then I'd be down then.
To get likes on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's not about likes
I
on
don't do
YouTube. It's about
YouTube.
not getting spanks at home. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
Well,
What are you talking about?
I thought we were talking about our kids doing their chores. Am I
Oh, okay.
off subject?
Yeah, I totally.
for some reason,
And of
he
course,
keeps,
I would never spank a child. That's,
for
Where
some
did that
reason he
come
keeps
from?
coming back to spanking. So let's ignore that. And it's gotten so out of the first initial challenge that I know of, at least, was the ice bucket challenge.
No,
And
cinnamon challenge.
I think the ice bucket was
I
before.
think the ice bucket was first.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Yeah, I
it
think
was
so.
for a good
Well, there was
cause.
definitely something
It
before Ice
started for a
Bucket.
good cause. Then people were just doing it and it wasn't doing.
Or not donating.
I don't understand
Yeah.
how you're supposed to donate money. I don't understand how that even works.
No, there was a website, and I donated, and clearly somebody did it.
I thought the whole point of that was
No,
you either
because I didn't
donate,
understand.
you donate money, or you have to douse
Do the
yourself in
challenge.
ice.
I did
and
both.
everybody was dousing themselves. I'm like, well, they're apparently not donating.
Yeah.
Did I
but,
get it wrong? I don't know.
I mean, but there was at the very least,
You
there
know
was
who my favorite was Charlie Sheen, because didn't he dump money all over himself? And he's like, I'm donating all of this money.
Yeah, I did a
The
spin-off.
cocaine challenge.
I did a
Tiger blood.
I did a spin-off of the Charlie Sheen when I did it, but I just jumped chain on me. So
Well, that must have hurt.
it did. It was not a good idea. But of course, I was pranked and had somebody.
Okay,
So,
you
the
did
Tide
that.
Pod challenge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you did that challenge, are you gonna do the Tide Pod challenge?
Yes, we are. Well, one of us is going to do it.
Not me. I think you're just contributing to the bad behavior of America's youth.
Yeah, but let's be honest. This is the dumbest thing. I mean, I don't
I don't
give
know if it's
much
the
credit.
dumbest thing,
well,
but
it's
it
up
is
there.
definitely
it's
up there.
It's right up there with politics. I mean,
Yeah.
eating detergent for likes on social media. I can't back that one.
With
sorry.
that being said, we're going to do it for likes on this
Yes.
show.
That's
There we go.
right.
But again, I'm not actually going to eat it. I'm just going to put it in my mouth. And
Well, then
Well,
what's
what
the
about
point?
yes?
well, the point
You're
is,
either all
This is
in
like
or
a
it's
whole
pointless, man. Come on.
I like how.
Well, Paul, what are you gonna do when you try to eat it? Are you gonna hold it in your mouth or are you
Well,
gonna eat it?
I am going to watch
Not-
Zenith.
I can't
eat.
Not
even
everybody
have
is
this
going to eat it. We're going to
conversation
choose a
anymore.
number.
Oh, it's gonna be.
We're going
random.
to choose a number from 1 to 10. Gina.
Hey.
you
So
choose a-
what? The
choose a magic
highest number or the lowest number?
Closest
Well, then-
number to the number that
What?
I think of.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
So,
I'm not doing
Sarah.
it.
Well, I mean, listen,
So
you
then
can't
Zenith
tempt
and
fate.
Paul can pick numbers because I'm not doing it either.
So, here we go. Pick a number.
Say it out loud.
Yeah, say it out loud.
5.
Oh, run with the middle there. I complain. Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh,
You're
what
both
is our
pointing at me.
range? Is it 0 through 10?
1 through 10.
Oh.
Okay.
10.
3.
It's 3.
God, you got to be kidding me.
No.
All right.
I told you I
Mostly
wasn't
because
going
I
to do
wanted
it.
to eat it.
I
Gina and
was
I
feel
have
like
like
it-
a secret
I was
code.
concerned.
I feel like I should have chose
that
someone
you
else to
would,
choose a
like,
number.
eat it and die, but then
Or
I
we
was
should have
like,
wrote-
no,
we
you
should have
were kind
written
of
it.
a rat
Are you
face
sh-
this morning.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Well, yeah.
I want to take a look. I've never actually seen one of these things up close, and I just
They
saw
look
on
They
the
do
news.
look.
They
There's
legislation.
like legislation being
To make them edible?
no
Or
to
you
make
can-
them look less appetizing.
Appetizing, yeah.
Up in New York, some government guy says they look too appetizing,
Ew.
and that's why the kids and people
look
with
too
dementia are eating them.
appetizing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with some
Get
government
out of
guy.
here.
Yeah, I
no
don't
one
know
with
who-
dementia ate a Tide Pod.
If they did, they
There you
forgot
go.
about it.
You
That
didn't
does
get
not
the
look
one with the
appetizing.
powder in it.
I was gonna say,
You're
aren't
gonna
they
eat
have
all
powder?
of that. That's disgusting.
it's kind of
What
like a
did you
fancy
get?
Chinese dumpling.
Yeah.
It's a foreign one.
Did you bring chopsticks?
With Downy.
Well, it is kind of similar to like that sushi that you get.
That's freaking gross. And
It's plastic and
It's
a
fine.
chemical. How does it look like
It's-
sushi?
it's
Oh, dude,
flawed.
I can't even watch. Oh my god.
So gross.
Oh,
Oh, you couldn't do it.
you didn't bite it.
You
No.
failed the
So
Yeah,
challenge.
you're supposed to bite
melted
it.
immediately.
That's
Ugh.
disgusting. Ugh.
Anyhow, it's time now.
Moving right along.
Kids don't try this at home. I can talk now.
Yeah, let's
and
have a public
bubbles,
service
bubbles come
announcement,
out.
all right? If you do that, you are an idiot. all right?
Well, now I want to talk about our next
Alright.
segment. Oh
it
my
smells
God,
all
it's so hard to
soapy in
swallow.
here now
Yeah.
too. Can you
Ugh.
smell? It smells like fresh laundry.
My breath smells good. That's good.
Yay.
I still
It's
would
time
kiss
for our
ya.
segment called the Motivational Minute. Today I want to talk about self-worth and knowing what your personal value is. Ladies and gentlemen, if someone has an opinion about you that doesn't match with your personal self-worth, keep in mind that anytime that you entertain someone's opinion for too long, you are telling your self-conscious that your opinion about me is more valuable than my opinion about me. that's our motivational minute of the day. I do want to summarize that we've had a great show. We talked today about box office movies, whether flirting is okay in the workplace. We did the Tide Pod. I did the Tide Pod challenge, and I still am gonna have that taste in my mouth for a very long time.
Serves you right.
Thanks, guys. You guys are very, very supportive. I definitely chose the best co-host for the show.
That's because we still love you.
Even
This
if you die
is
from eating lunch.
That's right.
well, we'll have to call poison control. That's the conclusion of our happy hour show. I want to, on the behalf of all of the hosts and co-hosts of the happy hour, I want to remind everybody to never limit happy to 1 hour. Thanks for watching or listening. I don't know. I'm out.
Well, I hope you stage dive and your face catches you. I hope he's on the hot thing, but she ends up a dude.